Welcome to Front and Center Ice, presented by Run Pure Sports. I'm your host, JC Zargo, joined as always by the boys, Matty Ice and Nadesify. Nadesify coming off a trip to Denver. You doing all right coming down from the altitude?
Yeah, doing about as good as we can. I think I need IV hooked up to me with some rehydration and some water. First time at altitude ever, and that didn't slow me down in terms of pound of drinks back. It was a good time. Met a lot of the guys out there. Met a lot of other full-time pro players and stuff. Had a good time at both the finals, and overall was a solid, successful weekend for myself as well. So it was good. Our guy Matty literally gave the nuts on Sunday. Hurtful. Our guy Jared didn't play his core. I did play his core in a secondary team, and that team would have took second in the final. My main team would have took sixth. So sucks being there and not being in the contest because that was 5 figures on the day for sure. But overall, it was fun being there. Great experience, and looking to get back there myself next year.
Right on. Love to hear it. Matty Ice, how was your weekend?
Very good, man. Very busy, but no, it was fun. It was fun sweating with the boys on Sunday night, and kind of working back and forth with Jared and some of the other guys. They had DK had their own little event for the NBA guys as well too. So I know we did. I think we took all the damn spots in that one. So it ended up being a very good weekend. So I can't complain.
Right on. Fantastic. Huge slate today, so I guess we should just jump right into it now. First game on my slate, Winnipeg Jets visiting the Carolina Hurricanes. Hellebuck expected in net as far as I can see. Carolina, they've lost, dropped 2 in a row. Kind of an odd thing to see for them. Winnipeg, conversely, is 1-2. So certainly an interesting matchup here. Pretty solid defense and incredible goalkeeping for the Jets taking on the high-flying offense in Carolina. Nadesify, let me know who you have in this one.
Yeah, I'd say I'd say incredible offense or goaltending, but it's Rittich in net, so that gives me some interest here in the Canes. I know it is tough to stack them up, but they have incredible metrics on the board here. They have some positive goal regression coming their way. It looks like in terms of last 5 numbers at home, sitting under 3 goals per game actual, but their implied expected goals is up near 4, and no better time to kind of jump on them here a little bit as a kind of a contrarian stack. I don't see a ton of ownership going to them. A lot of it is due obviously because it is tough to pinpoint where the scoring is going to come from. But my main target here would be the power play stack. Sebastian Aho is in a great matchup. It's one of the best matchups for centers on the board with Rittich and net. I have quite a bit of interest in these Canes. If it was Helly, this game would be probably a complete fade for me, but it does put the Canes back on the table here. I think you can go to pretty much any of their top 6 here, and mainly I'm focused on the power play guys. But Aho has 18 shots on net over his last 5 games and no goals, so I see that changing pretty quickly here. Nakas, same thing, 13 shots on net. He's been involved in the scoring. He just hasn't got it himself. I see that changing as well. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of interest. I know Matty broke this game down, but it's Carolina power play for me here, and pretty much any of these top 6 guys are in play for me.
You're muted, Zargo.
My bad, Matty Ice. What do you have for the people?
Yeah, I mean, I'm right in line with Nades here. If Helly was starting, I would probably just fade this game. But I'm on the Canes here. I don't know if they're going to be one of my main stacks tonight, but I do like Nakas and Teravainen tonight with Svechnikov sitting. Obviously, Aho is always in play. Jesse Puljujarvi, he's 3K on DraftKings. He's going to work that top line with Aho and Jarvis. I've never been a huge fan of him, but he's cheap enough that you can throw some darts at him, I think, in GPPs. I just don't personally think he's a very good hockey player. But Aho, Turbo, Nakas is kind of what I'm looking at here. On the Jets side, maybe Blake Wheeler. I see they moved him back to the top power play. He's under $5,000. He's kind of a boomer bust guy, though. He just doesn't shoot a ton. So it's really scoring dependent for him. But I expect the Canes to get back on track here. I like the Canes in this one.
Fair enough. Yeah, I got a hard time reading this one. I got a hard time betting against Carolina, but seeing how the Jets have been playing, seeing what Hellebuck can do, it's certainly a stay away spot for me as well. So we'll jump on the next
Riddich
spot
and not Hellebuck, by the way.
a little more. What's that?
I said it's Riddich and net, by the way, for Winnipeg.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That changed things up. I might be more in Carolina, but still, given the odds as we've talked about, I'm just not sure the value's there. Next game, a little more interesting, I'm sure from the DFS side, is Montreal visiting the Pittsburgh Penguins. Montreal's lost 4 games in a row. Pittsburgh continues to find ways to win. Winners of 4 of their last 5. I mean, this team just doesn't die. So I'm seeing Monster Truck and net. What's your play here, Nate Spy?
Yeah, I have some interest here in the Pens. I know Matty owned me last time with Monster Truck, but he still had a respectable score. He got to like 15 DraftKings points, and it was a 1-goal game. I know I talked about that a little bit, but Patty Kane and the boys did get there, so it was kind of a win-win, so to speak. It was just obviously the Carolina goalie min-priced, kind of dusted the slate. That was just poor pricing by DraftKings, but what are you going to do? In this one, Pittsburgh, I think, definitely I have some interest in. Jason Zucker is still 5K. The dude just feels like he scores every night. It's a great matchup too. Wingers against this Montreal team. Chris Letang is 5,700. I'm not sure why his price tag is that. I mean, the dude's been over 6K for majority of the year, and he's gone 13, 17, 20 in his last 3 games, and DraftKings dropped his price $300 since 2 games ago. So not really sure what's up with that. It's a great matchup for D-men here. So I like that quite a bit. You can always play a guy like Sidney Crosby, obviously, Jake the Snake up there. But overall, I mean, Sid, Jake the Snake, Zucker, and Letang for me here mainly is my interest here. And I think they make a pretty solid spot here. Definitely not scared of Montreal one bit. And I think we can see some goals. But I don't know if I get to them. Minus 355 favorites, one of the biggest favorites on the slate. We're going to talk about some other big favorites here too in Boston later. So if I'm choosing between the two, I probably side with Boston in terms of big favorites, but I'm only playing one lineup tonight with 12 games. So I'm not sure if I get to Pittsburgh tonight, but I do like Chris Letang's price for sure.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, no value in Pittsburgh whatsoever. And if there was a crazy upset to happen on the board, I think it might be here. I'm not going to go as far as to bet Montreal, but I just wouldn't be surprised if, we see that upset tonight. Matty, actually have anything different on this one?
I actually like the Pens quite a bit here. I think they're going to absolutely roll the Habs. The Habs are on back-to-back with travel. I like Sid and Jake the Snake here. My one concern is that this game gets out of hand. The guys that I do like, that I do think I'll probably play tonight, are Brian Rust. He's up on that top line with Sid and Jake. He's under 5K. He's still going to work the second power play, but I'm more concerned about 5v5 work. I also like Mikhail Granlund a little bit here tonight. They finally put him on that second power play unit. I think this is a game that ends up, it gets out of hand early. I think it's like 3-0, 4-0. And I think you're going to see a lot of these, defensive first guys get a ton of run tonight. Brian Rust, Granlund, Jeff Carter. I'm going to be taking the shots on a bunch of cheap Pens here. So I do think the Pens win. I have absolutely no interest in Montreal. Maybe Gurianov. He's cheap enough, and he's going to work on that top power play. But it looks like the Pens have found a little bit of something, so I'm going to ride with the cheap ones here. Like I said, I do like the studs, but I think the Pens are going to roll them.
Buddy's on mute again.
Yeah, I know. It's click whatever. One that'll be a little bit closer is Tampa Bay. They are visiting the New Jersey Devils. Devils continue to dominate. I mean, they are just on a heater. They are a steamroller in the Eastern Conference, and they take on a Tampa Bay team that's been struggling of late. got a hard time to even consider Tampa Bay in this one with the way the Devils are playing. But Matty Ice, can you make a case for Tampa Bay here, especially on the road?
Yeah. I mean, I think you certainly can, but I think this is going to be a game between two playoff teams that's going to be a little bit of a grinder. I'm not sure that I end up going to this one. If I did, I would lean the New Jersey side. I see the Devils kind of blended the lines this weekend, and now they're going back. So we got Jesper Bratt and Hughes and Timo back together. Timo's been utterly terrible since scoring in his first game in New Jersey. But with the Devils on home ice here, and it's been a little bit of struggle for the Bolts, I'm going to back the Devils at home. If I do play them, it'll be that second line of Hughes, Timo, and Bratt.
Solid. Nathan, what do you have?
I mean, Buddy's just having a rough hosting show here, but we'll keep trucking, chat. Zargo's on the weekend scatterbrain, it seems like, but I mean, Dawson Mercer price is finally starting to come back down. The dude's been incredible over the last 3 weeks. I don't know if I get to him in this game, but he is skating on the top line. It looks like overall, if I go here, it's definitely Jack Hughes and Timo Meier. I don't care at their price, and Jesper Bratt. I know their price tags are expensive, but they have as much upside as anyone on the slate. Timo has fared well when he's been in San Jose against Tampa here. So take that for what it's worth. You could see his second or maybe his third goal here even coming on this Jersey side, because I do think Jersey kind of rolls them pretty quickly or pretty easily here. I know Tampa's been whatever as of late, but overall, I mean, I think Jersey keeps their winning streak rolling here at home, can dictate matchups. Everything points to them. I'm not sure if I get to them, but if I was, I'm kind of right there in lockstep with Matty on Jack Hughes, Timo Meier. On the Bolt side, Alex Killhorn still remains cheap. He's been fully involved as of late. Has 22, 31, and 22 in 3 of his last 6 games here, and he's just 4,400, getting top power play run as well. Don't mind that as a value option if you land there, but overall, not really signing up to play any of these Bolts on a 12-game slate against Jersey at home. So,
all right, here's a play for you. Let me know what you think about this. New Jersey Devils over 3.5 goals.
Yeah, I like that. I haven't seen yet because I work nights. I took a nap here a little bit ago. But have we seen if Cirelli's been ruled in or out yet? Because I think Cirelli's a very, very good, defensive centerman. If he ends up out, this could turn into a little bit of a smash spot for the Devils. Sneaky one.
I'm not seeing anything about him being out.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. Let me just see latest. I haven't seen anything on Twitter yet. Obviously, we'll get that news before.
He got hurt in Winnipeg, and then I saw Cooper didn't have anything to say, but I didn't see their morning skate lines today.
I'm just not seeing him on the injury report. I could be wrong.
Well, I'll look up the morning skate lines real quick.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he's still listed as questionable. I apologize. So yeah, definitely a game time. Looks like a game time decision on that.
Okay.
All right. I'm set. I think I got my mic figured out. So while we reset and hopefully the rest of the show moves smoother, be sure to hit the damn like button. Just go ahead and do that right now. Get things going right. Murray wants to know, Nate, how many push-ups you do in a day. There's a bit of a viral photo within the Run Pure community. And I mean, I think the people knew you were jacked, but I don't think they knew just what kind of muscle you were packing there, Nate Zafai. So the people want to know, well, what's your workout routine? What's your regimen? What kind of supplements you taking?
I mean, the whole fuck around, find out gif, right? Like, I wasn't just blowing smoke, but hey, people saw the photo. Dunko said I look like a brick shit house, so I appreciate that, Dunko. That's my man. Give me the call out there. JBC and Bryce, third and Schlong, 2 very good players. I think hired me as their bodyguard all weekend, so that was fun. But yeah, no, it was a good time. Push-ups, I don't do a ton of push-ups, but I do hit the gym 6 days a week, so that's always good. But we got a 12-game slate here. My guy Terry in chat, Nate, go. Uncle T, we'll see you on Wednesday. I'm getting into town Wednesday, so looking forward to that. That should be fun. A little hurtful our guy Matty Ice is not making the trip, but after the last 4 weekends that I gave him, his wife was about to kill him, so I got to take one for the team there. I'm going to cover all weekend for him and let him get some time off as well. So overall, yeah, it was a solid weekend, and it's kind of funny how that photo blew up a little bit on Twitter.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, like you said, brick shit house. I really don't know how else you would describe it. But we'll get back to the hockey content.
Soft as fucking Charmin.
Soft as Charmin. Yeah. I mean, if you want to put me on skates, I will literally be the gif where the deer runs on the ice and all 4 legs go scatter. I can't even skate with the little freaking skate trainer that you hold on to, the little sled and push around. So it's kind of funny that I ended up handicapping hockey here because I can't even skate myself. But hey, when you can understand the game and look into it, it's always fun. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm soft as Charmin, but I don't know if I can really fuck with Matty Ice either, country boy out there in Minnesota, and he's a big dude himself too. So overall, I think I'll put our hockey team up against anyone in the streets. Us
country boys have swamp honky strength.
Right.
Throw bales 5 days a week until
I've done that. I've done the old concrete masonry work all growing up through my college and high school days. So that's probably definitely helped too. Building a little muscle, doing concrete work for 16 hours a day in the middle of the summer is definitely not fun.
Well, now I know what to get Nate for Christmas next year. I'm going to get him a nice medium sweatshirt.
Make sure the sleeves are cut off. I know I took a lot of shit for that too in the chat, but apparently me and Kurt are the only ones that wear short sleeve hoodies, but it's the way to go.
It's very Bill Belichick of you. Now getting back to hockey. A game Matty Ice was talking about pre-show, Vegas visiting Philly. While this show has dubbed Vegas frauds, they have won 6 of their last 7. So I don't know. I mean, they're not too bad. They're not too bad. Philly, though, remains to be Philly. Just I don't know how they're not doing worse overall, but they just win games from occasionally, and it keeps them okay position in the standings. So, Matty Ice, are we smashing Vegas, or what's the plan here?
Yeah, I mean, I like Vegas here. Vegas has just been getting solid goaltending, man. Jonathan Quick came over. He's been excellent. Since arriving from Columbus. I just don't see any way Philly wins this game. We were talking a little bit pre-show. The Vegas puck line is plus 135. I think that feels like a nice free dinner tonight. I'm going to go right back to the guys I was playing over the weekend. I like Jonathan Marchessault. I like Alex Pietrangelo, Riley Smith. I think Jack Eichel is viable in GPPs. He's averaging a point per game over his last 10, but he hasn't exploded. He's due. I don't know what it is. He seems like he's not shooting a ton. He seems to be working a little bit more of a distributor role right now. But I do like him in GPPs. I think he probably comes in a little lower owned than he should. But I just don't see any way Philly wins this. Sanderstrom's in net. Carter Hart's sick. I think this is a easy win for the Vegas Golden Knights tonight.
Completely agree. I mean, whenever I see a Vegas puck line with that great of odds, I'm probably going to be on it. So I love that play tonight. I don't hate the over being offered at plus money. I don't think they're going to shut out Philly. So, I mean, something like a 5-3 game, I don't think is out of the question. So I don't mind that play at all. I think that'd be fantastic. I think they match up well. I mean, they've obviously played tons already, but a playoff series would be fantastic between these squads. Nate's Father, I'll toss it to you, and let your hate for the Golden Knights rip. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, it's hard for me to hate on the Knights when they're playing Sanderstrom here, Mr. Desert Storm in that for Philly. But overall, I still think this is like a 3-1 game in terms of Vegas. I actually like the under. I'm surprised the line is set in 6.5 here personally because last 5 numbers. I mean, Obviously, Carter Hart boosts this Philly team a little bit, but I mean, it's red numbers across the board in terms of matchups for both of these squads. I do give the side, obviously, to Vegas. You can play a guy like William Karlsson or Riley Smith. Both are playing good hockey right now, both on that second line, which typically, like I said, I tend to like more on the road. Jack Eichel is, I mean, the dude plays 18 to 20 minutes. I can never get the dude right. I got him wrong again on Sunday. Had an incredible team with Jack Eichel, Snowflake, three points there, which was hurtful at mid sevens. But if you want to play him, you can. His shots numbers just don't look that great over the last 5. I mean, he's only got 9 shots on goal, which is a little concerning at that price tag in this matchup. So I don't know if I get to them. I'd rather just take chances if you're playing Vegas on guys like William Karlsson and Riley Smith. But overall, I don't have a ton of interest in this game from a DFS perspective. It's a 12-game slate, and I think the game goes under. So not really gonna go there. Jonathan Quick at 7,900. I think you can make a case to play him. He's been solid for Vegas, and this is I think they win here. So he should see some shots on, get some saves upside, and likely get the win as well. So don't hate that.
Right on. All right, fair enough. So again, no games we're really crazy about to this point, but on an 11-game slate, plenty more to go, plenty of areas to find value. Next game I got is the Washington Capitals visiting the New York Rangers. New York, they're playing okay. They haven't quite taken over like we expected they would with their recent additions. Taking on the Capitals, though, certainly an opportunity to bounce back. Nathan, what's your outlook on this team as far as we kind of thought the moves they made might propel them to the, more wins, maybe to the top of that division. We're just not seeing that. So what's your take on the Rangers to this point?
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting third right now, it looks like, in the Metropolitan, in the race here. I mean, they've had some tough games, to be honest. I mean, they played the Bruins. The Sens can cause issues for teams, right? Pittsburgh is on a roll right now. They played Pittsburgh tight. They beat the Kings, who are a great hockey team. So, I mean, they have upside, and I think it's just the whole chemistry thing, right? You kind of add a player like Patrick Kane to that team. It's trying to figure out where these wings and stuff are going to slot in. Overall, in this game, I do think the Rangers handle them pretty easily here. I think they make for a solid stack. I mean, Tarasenko continues to be priced in the mid 5s, averaging over 3 shots per game. I think he's fine. Patrick Kane, Matty Ice owned me the other day with a core Patrick Kane, which is rare to see from him, but that was a great play. He's 6,200. That's a little steep for his price there. Or for the spot here. But overall, I mean, I think New York makes some sense here. I'm never scared of Washington, especially on the road. Obviously, you can play a guy like Alex Ovechkin, right, any day of the week. We say that every slate. But overall, I mean, I have interest in some of these Rangers. Tarasenko is the one that stands out mainly to me. 16 shots on net, only 1 goal over his last 5. He's priced at 5,200. I think that's a cheap price tag there. Breadman there, Panarin, I think makes some sense as well, skating with Senko on that top line with Mika. Overall, I have some interest in all these top 6 for me, and I think they make a solid stack option here.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, Matty Ice, you did call that Kane goal last week. He had a goal 2 games in a row. What do we think about a spot here? Washington, not the best defense, not the best keeping, paying out plus 200. Any love for that prop today?
I'm actually on the top line for the Rangers here, very similar to Nade's. I like Mika and Breadman specifically. Tarasenko's perfectly fine. His price is very cheap. I do have a little bit of interest in Vincent Trocheck as well too. He's working on that top power play. He gets some PK run, but I think with the Rangers changing the lines up a little bit here and putting Kreider on the second line with Trocheck and Breadman up with Mika, it seems to me, at least for me looking at it, I think that second line is going to be more of a defensive stopper than this top line usually was. Because usually Mika and Kreider are taking the top matchup, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So I like Mika and Breadman here. I don't have a ton of interest in the Caps. Rasmus Sandin's still cheap. He's been absolutely fantastic since landing in the Capital. He's still, like I said, very cheap. I think he's $3,800. I mean, he's got 12 points in his last 10 games. He's running the top power play. He's getting big minutes with John Carlson out. And Dylan Strome would be the other guy. He's under 4K as well too. He gets second unit power play run, but he's been playing very well over the last 10 days. But I do lean the Rangers at home here. Igor's in net, and I expect the Rangers to get the job done.
Fair enough. All right. How about Alex Ovechkin plus 115 goal scorer? Hadn't scored in his previous two. Not often he goes 3 games in a row without scoring.
Yeah, I'm gonna fade Ovi here. I'm gonna probably play 2 or 3 lineups tonight, and I just don't think I'm gonna get to him. But the price is certainly nice on DraftKings. I think he's $7,700. It might be the best price we see all year on him, to be honest. But with the Rangers made all these acquisitions, and sometimes it takes a few weeks to gain some chemistry with these guys. If you've ever played sports, it's not always there immediately. It's just some guys have great chemistry right away and some guys don't. And I think the Rangers are going to start to take off here and start beating some teams handily.
Yeah, I mean, I think plus money on Ovi is fine, but what worries me here, Zargo, is he's only got 3 shots on net over 2 games on the year against the Rangers. So it could be a matchup fit. It could be something, right? Obviously, Mika's a great guy there, and now they have Kreider and Trocheck and that on that second line. I mean, they could dictate the matchups here. So, I mean, plus money on a guy that has over 800 career goals is never a bad take. But overall, I mean, I don't love it. And I think he is going to see some ownership. It's Alex Ovechkin under 8K. I think the first time all year. So I'm personally fading, like Matty said, on the DFS side, but plus money, sure, you could do it. I typically like going more for the 200, 300, 400 range on goal scorers, just because I think it is a high variance thing. So I can lose 2 or 3 as long as I hit every third or fourth one, right? So that's kind of how I approach it. Whereas plus 115, I mean, you can play money lines. I like a dog that we're going to talk about later that pays out higher than that. So typically that's what I like better. Got to give a shout out to my guy Hoff. I met the dude at the final. Great dude. It was also awesome talking with him, and he gave us some high praise. So definitely appreciate that. I let Matty know right away. Definitely spoke highly of our NHL content, and he loves this show. So I'm happy to keep it going with him. He should be in the back in the Discord in a little bit here. Hope all is well.
Just came across the news wire. Svechnikov season-ending knee injury. It just had surgery.
Wow.
I mean, that should add some value to some of these other teams in the East.
That's a tough break after already losing Pacioretty.
Yeah, that's going to give some other teams in the East here open chances. Obviously, it's Boston's to lose, but I mean, not having a full strength Kane squad the whole playoffs or having to go up against them, right? It does give some boost to some other teams. Yeah, that's interesting. Rest in peace, Kasim Kasmia in our chat, right, in our Discord. Pour one out for him because I know he's a huge Canes fan, and that's a huge loss for sure.
No doubt. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a solid take there, Nate. I can respect that. Anything else to add to that game?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, cool. Another interesting one. Detroit visiting the Nashville Predators. Predators finally kind of taking their place in the standing. They are the team we thought they were. Same with Calgary. They have completely slipped out of the wild card race. They're probably done. It would certainly take a miracle for them to catch the Jets. But still hockey. We're still going to bet on it. We're still going to, run some DFS plays. So with the Red Wings visiting Smashville, what's your approach here, Nate?
Yeah, I mean, numbers-wise, I think this is a fair spot for Nashville. I mean, they've been buzzing a little bit as of late. and all their dudes remain cheap, right? They're obviously with the trades and the Forsberg injury and that they're letting these young guys run. Detroit is over the last 5 has given up 4 goals per game or more on average, and their expected goals is right there too. So it's not really just bad puck luck for them, which is always something that I like to kind of gut check when I'm looking at these metrics. And I know Matty's helped me with that too. That's why I added it to the sheet, because sometimes, I mean, last 5 numbers are misleading, and we saw that earlier this year with Detroit when they went on their stretch there for 3 weeks. It felt like we were playing them and owning everyone. But overall, I give the side to Nashville here. It is only a 6 total, and Nashville does right now. It just seems like their scoring is kind of spread out. I mean, Duchesne at 5,100 in a great matchup against wingers. Detroit against wingers. I mean, 5,100 for him is fair price. It was very hurtful for our dude Jared in the final to have Evangelista Strats the other night for the final. I haven't seen I haven't looked yet. I've been crazy trying to catch up from being on vacation and going back on vacation tomorrow. I haven't looked at the morning skate lines, but I think if he is in the lineup, he makes for a solid play as well. The dude's got 12 shots on goal, 2 goals over his last 5. Cody Glass, I know Matty hates Cody Glass, but the dude he's been active for this Pred squad.
Cody Glass is ass.
Yeah, I mean, he gets a lot of minutes for these guys. He fires the puck. He can always find a goal. Tommy Novak is probably my favorite dude. The dude's just playing great hockey right now. Has 3 goals over his last 5. And then Philip Tomasino seems to have found his place on that top line. So I kind of like that top line a little bit here with Novak, Duchesne, and Tomasino. That's a cheap stack. They're playing the wings. Wings don't have a great power play or a great penalty kill as well. And those dudes are on that top power play there. And I mean, Roman Josi was extremely hurtful. Absolute nut matchup. The dude has a floor, it seems like, of 20 DraftKings points. And of course, the night I play him, the dude has 0 shots on goal until late in the third period. That was very hurtful. But I mean, you can always play a dude like him. I typically don't like to take out a second mortgage if I'm spending up that high, because if I'm going to, it's going to be for Connor McDavid on this slate here if I'm spending up for that money. So I'd rather just save at D-man. But you can always play Roman the Great, and coming off a down game usually bodes pretty well for him. So you can certainly play him.
Fair enough. Matty, what do you got?
Yeah, I think this is just a nasty game. I wrote this game up in the playbook. I'm on the same guys as Nades here. Tommy Novak, Matty Duchesne, Philip Tomasino. I don't think, Yossi's viable on every slate. His floor has been so damn good all year, but if I'm going to pay up, I completely agree with Nades. I'm going straight to McJesus tonight. On the Detroit side, I don't think this is a good matchup for the top line for Detroit. If I was playing Detroit, it would be the second line of David Perron, Dominic Kubalik, and Andrew Kopp. I like Kubalik's price here. He's a pretty aggressive winger. He does disappear at times, but I don't think you're playing any of these guys, in my opinion, at least in cash games tonight. So you'd be looking at them in GPPs anyways. So I lean the Preds on home ice here, but I just think it's a disgusting game, and I just prefer other spots. So I'm not sure I end up here, on the DFS side of things, maybe outside of a Tomasino as a one-off if I, land in that lower 3K range.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Tough day for anyone who came for bets. It's just I give the edge to the Predators for sure, but the odds on the money line, I just don't think it's worth it for the Predators. Still quite a few games to go. Hopefully we'll still find you some solid bets along the way. Next game on the docket, though, Boston Bruins at Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, that pretty much says it all. Best team in the league taking on one of the worst. Don't really need to add anything else. Matty, do you have any DFS plays for this one?
Yeah, I mean, Boston should absolutely roll this team, right? You can make a case for pretty much anyone. If I am going to play somebody outside of the studs. You don't need me to sit here and tell you that you can play Pasternak or Bergeron or DeBrusk in this matchup. It's a great matchup for them, but I actually like Boston 3 here. I like Tyler Bertuzzi and Charlie Coyle. I don't think this is a game that stays close. Very similar to what I was talking about in Pittsburgh. I think a lot of these depth guys are going to get run for Boston tonight. Tyler Bertuzzi is actually one of my favorite values on this slate. He's priced at $3,300. He's going to get that second unit power play run. I just don't see Boston running their top dogs out here for 20 to 22 minutes in a matchup that they should easily win. There's no reason to risk them in this matchup. One guy I do like for Chicago, he's just been extremely aggressive. I actually like his shot prop tonight is Taylor Radish. Will I play him on DraftKings or FanDuel? I don't know that I get to him. I just don't think I have to, but he's been pretty aggressive recently, so I do like him. But like I said, I like the value pieces for Boston here. Can Pasta double dong in the first 2 periods? Sure, absolutely. Can Bergeron pot one early? Absolutely. But I don't know that I want to pay up for those guys with some of the spots, other spots on this slate. So my favorite spot here is the Boston third line: Trent Frederick, Charlie Coyle, and Tyler Bertuzzi.
Right on. Nate's fine. I mean, you're typically good at finding some value with home dogs. So any angle for Chicago on this one?
Yeah, not here. I'm not about to sign up plus 335 for the Blackhawks when I think this is like a 6-1 game. I think Boston just rolls them. I have a little bit more interest in Pasta here than Matty. He did still see 20 minutes ice time last game when they won 6-1 against the Blackhawks. So I do think obviously this is a little bit later in the season, and with the news that they just seen coming out of Carolina, definitely could be more on Matty's side here where these dudes don't play as much. But I mean, it's the Blackhawks. He's literally playing Tyler Johnson, Taylor Radish, guys of that. I think he can get there quick. 9,100 is fair, but I prefer other spends that we'll talk about soon. I already mentioned them. I prefer the Oilers spend ups here over Boston, but I wouldn't fault anyone for going to Boston. Bergeron, 6,600. That's a fair price tag for Bergeron on how good he's playing right now. I mean, the dude's got 20 shots on net over his last 5. Him and Pasta combined for 42 shots on net over the last 5 games. Certainly you can go to 2 guys like that. I'm off of Marchand here and DeBrusk. I just something's telling me I don't really want to go to them, especially if they're going to get their ice time cut a little bit. David Krejci here. I have a decent amount of interest in. So my main interest here is Pasternak. Bergeron you can throw in if you want, but it's mainly line 2 and line 3 for me. I'm right there with Matty in line 3. I mean, Tyler Bertuzzi, we talked about it last time. The dude's a top 6 guy on pretty much any team in the league. And he comes to Boston. He's down there in the third line, which is going to be absolutely incredible once they get Taylor Hall back. I mean, this team is just scary, top to bottom, goaltending, everything. So I do think they roll it. I did like Matty's call with Radish there. I wrote him in the playbook, and then I wrote Tyler Johnson as well in the playbook. Both of those guys are no names that are trying to make a name for themselves on the worst team in the league. So once they touch the puck, they fire it. They're both playing well. They're both under 4K. So if you land there, sure, you can play them. But overall, I just think this is a smash spot here. And there's not much else to say. I'll mark at 8,500. I typically don't pay for a max price goalie on a slate because just variance-wise, we've seen it. I mean, if Boston wins this game 6-1, right, how many shots really is Chicago going to have on net to erase that goal against? Or if they somehow score 2, right, 8,500 is going to be tough to pay off. So you can certainly play him. He's probably going to be one of the cash goalies, obviously, with a minus 450 favorite. You can certainly go there, but overall, that's where I'm at for this.
Now, with that take, I think it's fair. Any love for Bruins minus 2.5 paying out even money, or are you going to put that bet in the same category as an OV to score?
I just think you're, to be honest, I just think you're trying to make something out of nothing here, right? Sure. Do they win by more than 2.5? Probably, but it's hockey. It's variance. We've seen it happen a lot. So at even money only, I mean, if that was 2 or 3 to 1, right, it'd make a little bit more sense. But only at even money, you can grab safer, better bets that are less variance, in my opinion, than even money elsewhere on the slate.
Can't argue with that. Matty, is there something you wanted to add?
No, I was going to answer your question, and Nade's literally read my mind. So
perfect. Similar game to that is Ottawa visiting the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers not quite the juggernaut Boston is, but the way Ottawa's been playing, they are certainly in league with the Blackhawks. Similar spread in this one, a little bit more value on the puck line here. Matty Ice, what's your read?
I love the Oilers here tonight. I think the Oilers are going to absolutely smash them. Connor McDavid's my top play on the board. I don't think that's a very exciting take. But I think it's a great matchup. The Senators they didn't say who. I know Thomas Shabbat didn't practice this morning, and another guy, but I saw DJ said they have multiple game time decisions tonight in the Sens lineup. I think the Oilers are going to absolutely roll them. I love that top line of Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman, and Evander Kane. They will certainly be in my core tonight. Obviously, you can run it back with the Sens. They've been really hit or miss, right? So they're either really good or just completely piss poor. If I did play them, it would be DeBrincat and Batherson. There's nothing wrong with Timmy Stew or Brady, but DeBrincat's $5,900 is probably the best price we've seen on him all year. Batherson's 53, and we all know the Oilers can be leaky at times. Look at that game the other night against Toronto. They're winning the game, and then all of a sudden Toronto scored 3 or 4 or 5 goals in a matter of 8 minutes. It was absolutely insanity. But I think this is a great spot for the Oilers, and they are my number 1 stack tonight.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, when I pulled up the slate, Edmonton puck line and Vegas puck line were kind of the 2 biggest bets that jumped out of me. So I completely agree with you there. Nate, you in line with us, or are you going to be a contrarian on this one?
No, I'm in absolute lockstep with Matty, and it's kind of crazy we didn't even talk about this slate yet. Dude's been grinding for me, so I appreciate that. And he took a nap. I broke this game down in the playbook, and I swear he just read the breakdown word for word. I love the Oilers top line here. My top stack of the board as well. They're going to be in my core. That's why I said you can play Pasta, you can play Chelsea if you want, but I'm spending up. And it costs a second mortgage here for McJesus. But I don't care. I mean, the dude is going to put a Ferrari in the driveway today. He's an incredible player, matchup proof. Absolutely love him. He owns Ottawa as well. Draisaitl under 8K is kind of funny here. You don't see that. I mean, 7,700, kind of like Ovi's price tag. That's one of the best price tags we've seen on him all year. So sure, you can obviously play him, correlates it as well. But it's very expensive to play all 4 of those dudes, and it might be impossible. So I definitely side with McDavid, Hyman, and Evander Kane. I wrote in the playbook. Hyman's got some positive goal regression coming here. He was on a tear mid-season. Slumping a little bit, but he's still active. He's still chucking the puck. 10 shots on goal over his last 5, no goals. Evander Kane came back and played 18 minutes in his first game back, and 18 to 19 minutes in his other game. So I see 18 to 20 minutes here for Evander Kane, and he can certainly score. He's got a nice price tag at 6,300. I like him quite a bit. And then my only interest on the Sens is Bathbaum and DeBrincat. I mean, both those price tags are too cheap for their upside and their talent. Edmonton is leaky. You can score on them. And those are 2 very nice price tags. Can you play a guy like Brady? Absolutely. He's going to be a contrarian spend up in that same range on this slate. He always has upside, but it's not for me. If I'm going to the Sens, it's going to be DeBrincat, who tends to pull double duty as well on the power play. And then Bathbaum in there and Batherson. But overall, I'm all aboard Edmonton here and love them. Top stack on the board for sure.
Do you know who the player is that has had the most goals called back in the NHL this year?
Leon Draisaitl.
Zach Hyman. And it's not even ridiculously. It's bizarre how many goals he's had called back.
Yeah, it happened to me, and I took like third. I would have shipped the whole slate. Yeah, it's frustrating, and
he's got some massive positive goal regression coming in his direction. He's just had absolutely miserable puck luck.
Yeah, I mean, I love him tonight, and 7,300. His price is starting to drop because of that. I mean, this dude's a mid-eights player on this team, skating with McDavid, so he just opens up so much, and obviously McDavid still can get his. I see 4 or 5 goals minimum coming here from Edmonton. So if they win 2-1, I'm probably going to lose because they do need to score to pay off these price tags. But that's where I'm planting my flag here.
Love it. We're all on the same page. It certainly seems like the agreed upon bet of the day, Edmonton. You grab that puck line plus 110, pretty solid bet there. This next game, it's a bit of a run pure special. Calgary, a team we made some money fading, heads to Arizona to take on the Coyotes, a team we've made some money on when they're playing at home. So, Nadefy, man, I'm just going to toss it right back to you. Which direction are you going on this one?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to another dude I met out here at the live final, Big Show Brandon. Great dude, awesome dude. Straight horse junkie. I mean, don't bet against him in his horse racing. I'll tell you that right now. He's a legend in those streets, but he took 5th in the NHL final, and it was right here on the back of these Coyotes. Unfortunate scratch there with Nick Schmaltz getting scratched, but that's I mean, the nice thing about NHL, especially in a small man field, you can cash with zeros. But in this game, I mean, my Yotes' main interest is my boy Lawson Krause, 3,500. I think that's cheap for him because I actually prefer the Flames in this one, which is crazy. I know it's going to shock the world. I got a great, like Matty said, I feel like I should be the GM of this Yotes squad, but I'm on the Flames. I think the Flames steamroll them here. Arizona just kind of played an incredible game, right? Beat the Wild. They went nuts, obviously, on the backs of Barrett Hayton and Clayton Keller, who Brandon played in that team. It was a great build. And I told him on Saturday, I said, play the Yotes tomorrow. I said, nobody's going to play them because lines aren't out. There's no late swap. I said, Yotes, they're at home. I said, they're a great spot. And he did. And, well, he shipped 40K. So that was a good night for him there. But, yeah, Flame side for me, I like Kadri. I like Pelletier. I like Rasmus Anderson. And I like Toffoli. All of those guys, I think Kadri pops here. I think Kadri explosion's coming. 6K flat for him is just cheap. It's a great matchup against the Yotes here. And over the last 5, I mean, the Yotes expected goals against on home ice is up close to 4 goals per game. They're sitting right there with their actual. They allow the most shots on home ice in the league. They don't have a great penalty kill. So I know we said the Flames are frauds. I even wrote that in the playbook, but I think they're not going to be frauds here tonight in this one, and I'm on the Flames.
Now you've been the Lawson Krause whisperer, so any love for the plus 270 to score? Yeah,
I mean, I don't hate it. He's been active, which I like. He ticked down a little bit in terms of being active out there on the ice, but he's got 17 shots on net over his last 5. Sees between 18 to 20 minutes. 3,500. He's a solid value DFS and almost 3-1 in terms of goal scorer. I don't hate that as well. But
I actually have Krause as one of my best bets tonight on DraftKings. They have over 1.5 shots on goal is minus 160. I think he absolutely smashes that.
Yeah, I mean the dude is firing the puck a ton right now, and 3,500. He's got a good chance to get you the shot bonus as well on DraftKings at 3,500. And if he gets you that, he's going to pay off that price tag. And Flames have been fraudulent. So even if I see like a 4-2, 5-2 type game here. If Krause spots you that goal, he's paying off 3,500. I'll tell you that right now. So that's a great bet by Matty because I think he's eclipsed that in numerous games straight. 1.5.
FanDuel has 3+ shots on goal for Krause at plus 144.
Well, because you're on the number.
He's gone 4, 4, 6, 1, and 2. Obviously, the matchups against Colorado and Minnesota were quite a bit tougher. But with Schmaltz sitting out here tonight, I wouldn't mind taking a shot at that. But I think the one on DraftKings is literally just is damn near free money. I don't even care that I have to eat a little bit of the juice at minus 160. At 1.5, I think that's just a dumb number in my opinion.
Right on, right on. Anything else on that game before we move along?
No, Nade's nailed it. I like Kadri a lot here. I like Rasmus Anderson. We played him on Sunday. He had a big game here. And on the Yotes side, for me, it'll be Valimaki and Kraus. Pretty simple, straightforward for me. So,
next game, Dallas at Vancouver. Then Dallas winners of 3 in a row. Vancouver, they've actually won 4 in a row. They're on a bit of a heater here, so an interesting one. Knowing this Dallas team can flop. What direction you heading, Matty guys?
I don't know what to do with this game. Dallas is on a back-to-back. They did get the job done in Seattle last night. Vancouver's been playing better, and I don't think it's necessarily the players playing better, but they're actually getting some goaltending. Demko's looked pretty damn solid since coming back from injury. I'm gonna lean the Stars here. I think they're just a little bit of a better team, even on a back-to-back. I think this is one of those where those first period bets that Nades likes to push. I think this is a game where you implement that strategy. It might take a period for the Stars to get their legs. I'm not going to go crazy in this one. I think the Stars are pretty good defensively, and I think they showed that against a pretty good Kraken team the last couple nights. I'm going to go right back to the value for Dallas. Max Domi's been playing well. He's $5,000, but I do prefer Wyatt Johnson at a 1,500 discount. He's getting quite a bit more run. I also like Evgeny Dandonov. He's seeing decent ice time here, anywhere from 13 to 15 minutes. He's getting power play run. He scored in 2 of his 3 last games. He's $2,900 on DraftKings. I don't think I'm going to play the Canucks, and honestly, it's because if I was going to play them, I would want to play Elias Pettersson with them at home, and the pricing isn't conducive for me to pay $8,100 for him when I'm pretty much locking McDavid into the slate. So.
I knew, and that's why I wasn't talking. I know, I was trying to get the cursor over there. Now, Vancouver, they really haven't beaten anyone impressive other than Toronto in this stretch. So are you just going to ride with Dallas Nadesify, or do you have any love for Vancouver to continue this stretch?
Yeah, I actually think Vancouver wins this game here.
Wow.
I know our guy VIP is going to be nuts in chat, but
oh yeah,
plus 130 I think is a fair price. I mean, Dallas is on back-to-back with travel. Vancouver's playing solid hockey right now. They can dictate matchups on home. So overall, it's not a strong lean. It's not like a load the boat on kind of thing, but I do think the Nucks win the game overall. In the playbook, I wrote up the cheap stars here. Wyatt Johnson, Jamie Benn, Dadonov, and Max Domi are the 4 I wrote up. Matty talked about all of them. So we're in lockstep there. I'm just not spending salary because I'm spending salary elsewhere on Edmonton. So I can't spend everywhere. I don't have the Onyx hack on DraftKings where you get extra salary, so I can't do that. But on Vancouver, I like Kuzmenko. He has incredible history here. I know history's done well for me all year. For whatever reason, I just have a decent read on that. $5,700 I think is a fine mid-tier play if you land on him. I'm not going to stack the Nucks because Dallas can play good defense. But I mean, they've been leaky on the road overall. So not a ton of interest. I mean, it is a 6.5 total, right? I'm seeing it drop down to 6. So I think it actually goes under that as well. Stars on a back-to-back. I think they're going to try and squeak one out here and get a win, but I think Vancouver takes it. Quinn Hughes, solid spot for him as well. 5,900 is a little expensive for him, but he's playing great hockey. But another guy I got interest in is Beauvillier here too, for Vancouver. Incredible history as well. $4,700. I think he makes a fine one-off play as well. But overall, 12-game slate. You can't play everyone. I probably don't have any of this game in my couple lineups, but I would side with the with the Nucks here in this one, or should I say Cuck Nucks?
Fair enough, man. It's a hot take. I like it. Like I said, with the way Vancouver's playing, it's really hard to argue with that. So I'll ride with it. 2 games left on the slate, both evenly matched, but on opposite ends of the spectrum. We'll start with the worst of the two. Columbus visiting the San Jose Sharks. Both come in with losing streaks. One of them will end that tonight. Hutchinson in net for Columbus. It'll be just his 3rd start of the season. Just 2 stinkers in this one. San Jose has been given a slight edge, but both teams are capable of putting up some goals. So I do like the over here, but aside from that, I got no clue which way to go. Matty Ice, who do you like in this one?
I'm going to side with Columbus, but just slightly. And it's not going to be Hutchinson in net. It's going to be Daniel Tarasov, who I actually quite prefer.
Okay, that's a big upgrade.
To Hutchinson. The Jackets kind of went a little bit blender on their line here. So now they've moved my boy Kent Johnson, who's been an absolute damn hero for me a couple different times this year, up to the top line with Johnny and Boone. But I really like the second line for Columbus tonight. Jack Roslovic, Patrick Laine, and Kirill Marchenko. I think they're quite a talented trio. Jack Roslovic's obviously a boomer bust player. He always has been. But the one thing I like about him is he's getting a ton of ice time. He's getting power play run, and he's getting PK work. So anytime I'm looking for a cheap value play, I'm always looking for somebody who gets, has the opportunities. He's $3,300. And he's probably going to play anywhere from 15 to 18 minutes tonight. On the Shark side, it's your usual suspects. It's Logan Couture, Erik Karlsson, Alexander Barabanov's incredibly cheap. Columbus is 2nd worst against wingers in the league. I think Barabanov has 6 points in his last 10, including a couple goals. But he's under 4K, and we've seen Columbus be leaky as well too. But I think Columbus is just a little bit better team. Are they in true for tank for Bedard mode? I don't know. It seems like they sure like to get up early in games and then just completely disappear in the 2nd, 3rd period. Is that by design? I don't know. But I'm going to side slightly with Columbus here. It's very similar to Nate's read on the Canucks. It's not something I'm going to be heavy on. It's not something I'm betting. It's just a gut call because I do think Tarasov is a decent goalie, and I'm actually kind of excited to see him play tonight.
I like it. Nate, you agree, or are you taking this game a different direction?
Yeah, Columbus is my favorite dog on the slate, actually. I think they're a top 5. I put them in the top stacks in the playbook. Nobody's going to play them. I think they have a ton of upside here. The Sharks are absolutely terrible. I know the Sharks are playing good right now, but I think it ends here. Columbus, the Sharks are giving up the most goals per game last 5 in the entire league. On home ice at almost close to 5 goals per game. Line is cheap. Boone Jenner, the hero himself. Nobody ever plays him. He's a stud. Very underrated. I love him. I love Johnny Gaudreau as well. Johnny Hockey at under 6K against the Sharks sounds fun to me. I like him quite a bit. Kirill Marchenko is going to slot in on that top power play. I like him too at his value price tag. The Sharks give up close to 3, a little over 3 chances per game on the power play, and they're sitting under a 70% penalty kill. You put Johnny Hockey, you put Boone Jenner, you put Laine, you put these guys up on that top power play, and it's gonna lead to some scoring. And nobody's gonna play these guys, so I like them quite a bit as a contrarian stack. I'm not sure how they're gonna fit with Edmonton. I haven't built any teams yet, but if I play 2 teams, one of my stacks for sure is going to be Columbus here. I like them quite a bit, and it's crazy to say I'm stacking one of the worst teams in the league, but they've won 4 straight, right? 5 straight. I think if they were in tank mode, they wouldn't be going on a winning streak. So I think it's the Ducks, it's the Blackhawks, it's these other squads that are have an upper edge, I think, to get Bedard. So I think they kind of realize that, and they're just going to see what they can do. And I like them as a dog. On the Sharks, it's your standard suspects. Matty nailed that. Tomas Hertl, Erik Karlsson, Couture. And then I wrote up Barabana as well. Not matchup for him under 4K. I think it makes some sense. And then a D-man for Columbus. Bovquist is going to slot up onto the top power play. 3,500. That's a great value here. Like I said, I love this Columbus power play. And I think they pot a couple goals here at no ownership as a late night hammer. So like them quite a bit.
All right. Love to see it. Final game then. Islanders at the Kings. Islanders hanging on to that final wild card slot. Kings just surrendered the top spot in the Pacific to the Golden Knights. So they'll be looking for 2 points tonight, but it'll be a battle. Great goalie matchup. Over-under sitting at 5.5. Could make for a juicy play. I'm liking the Kings at home, but it's hard to bet against Sorokin. Nadefy, which way are you going?
Yeah, I mean, if you're hoping for this game to bring you to the top of leaderboards, I got news for you. It's gonna be tough sledding because this is the grossest game on the slate by far. 2 defensive first teams. Kings can dictate matchups here. Kopitar, these guys are great two-way players in the league. I don't have any interest outside of goalies in this one. Sure, you can grab cheap pieces like Sebastian Aho, not from Carolina, from New York. He's under 3K. Can get you that block bonus pretty easily. Mikey Anderson, same thing. You're really playing him for the block bonus. 3,300, I think, is fine for him. Vilardi, Gabriel Vilardi, I think is how you pronounce it. That's how I pronounce it, so that's the right way. Seeing 16 to 18 minutes, top power play. He's got solid history as well. But overall, I'm not going to play any pieces here. Goalies for me and move on. And hopefully I'm already towards the top of the leaderboard. You're on mute, Donkey. That's like number 7 today.
That is.
Zargo ate the 200 milligram edible before the show today.
Yeah, Zargo was out in Colorado and at the country all day.
Anyway, I got a lot of noise over here trying to be respectful of that, and I keep forgetting to unmute it. Anyways, I can't argue with that, Nadefy. I completely agree. I think it's going to be – there's no argument. It's going to be a low-scoring game for sure. 5.5 is a tough under to get under, so I don't know if I'll get there. Matty Ice, what do you think?
Yeah, I hate this game from a DFS standpoint. I think it's going to be a great game to watch if you like old-school hockey. I think both goalies are in play here, depending on which side you want to fall on. Sorokin's been fantastic all year. I've always been a fan of Corpi Silo. That man's won me some GPPs multiple times. One guy that I would mention who I think is just sneaky if you end up in this range is JG Pageau. It sounds like he is going to be back tonight for the Islanders. I think that's a massive upgrade up the middle for them. He's $3,500, and he is always a guy who seems to score in these grinder, just disgusting matchups. Am I going to play him? Probably not, but that would be more of a MME big field type play. But as Nate said, we're on the same page here. It's just tough for me to get excited about this game from a DFS standpoint.
Right on. That's our show, y'all. We got best bets coming up. Before we do that, do us a favor. Hit the like button. We here every Tuesday and Thursdays. Most Saturdays. Been out for a few Saturdays in a row now. But every Tuesday, Thursday, 3 Eastern, you can count on us breaking down the whole slate. And you know what? If you want action every day, come on over to Run Pure. Matty Ice, Nadefy. They're breaking down every hockey slate every day. New members get 15% off using code Zargo15, Nadefy15, or Matty Ice 15. So whoever your favorite panel member is, show them some love and come join the party at Run Pure. Best bets. We'll go around the horn. Nadefy, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I talked about Columbus being one of my favorite contrarian stacks of the board here. I'm going to do a same game parlay like I've done the last couple shows here. And it's going to be Columbus Blue Jackets money line paired with Johnny Gaudreau, anytime goal scorer, plus 350.
Love it. Those have been hidden. They've been hot. Nadefy's been winning the people some money, so don't miss out today. Matty Ice, what do you have?
I'm gonna take the low hanging fruit today, but I'll give you 2. I'm gonna take Vegas puck line -1.5 plus 135. and I'm going to give you Lawson Krause over 1.5 shots on DraftKings minus 160.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I was going to go the Columbus route as well. Going to do a parlay there. I'll mix it up. I'll just take the Columbus money line and the Oilers puck line, parlay that plus 340 payout. That's our show, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you Thursday. And as always, rum pure.